Hi everyone, this is J-Belle with Geeky Vices, and as I may have mentioned in the previous video, I'm kind of powering through a few bonus videos this week to make up for missing one last week. So anyways, this week my Geeky Vice, aka my random bit of pop culture passion right now, is I recently powered through all of Netflix's a new original musical reality series, Westside, and I really enjoyed myself. Like I basically binge watched, I think, in the course of 24 hours because I mentioned beforehand in a previous video how I've been dealing with some health stuff, so I've been sick and on the couch a lot. So this really appealed to me. Um, as far as my taste, I do tend to love a good musical, and I tend to love things where I feel like, especially when it comes to music or dance, I love things where it feels like everyone or people are going all out, and I find the creative journey very interesting. So I've always liked things like I've liked Glee. I've always or I've watched both Fame movies once, and I've seen a few episodes of the Fame series back when it was on Netflix years and years ago. My first Korean drama was Dream High, and I've watched Dream High too, which isn't as good, but Dream High is still one of my favorites. Like, so I do definitely like things, as I said, that is part of the creative process and exploring that. And I used to do theater, so I do always find the whole like getting the rehearsals and like building up a performance and everything always very fascinating. I also did dance as a kid, but I never, not, this is not to say I was particularly good at either one, but I do have a little bit of that history in my childhood, so it more so makes it me have an interest in these type of things rather than me saying I have any field of expertise. But yeah, West Side is very interesting. It is a reality series, although you do definitely get the feeling at some stage where there's eight to nine uh, different singers who have been brought together by this producer, Sean, to work together to create a, I guess like cabaret type, well, not cabaret, but like they're going to put on this performance in eventually in this nightclub type of situation, but it's going to be them creating their own content, and there's no main star to it, so it's just a very collaborative piece, and I know a lot of the people are interested in it because there's varying degrees of success with all these performers. Like, it's not like they're complete no-name people. Like, they have had some varying degrees of success. I mean, the one most people probably likely know is, I guess, Piet Toscana, who was on American Idol years ago. I don't know which season or such, because honestly I've only seen one episode of American Idol, and that was the first season finale between Kelly Clarkson and Justin, what's his name. So that's the only episode of American Idol I've ever seen. And she is clearly one, like, the strongest singers in the group. Like, she has definitely got an amazing voice, but it's definitely very interesting how, like, they're doing it not just for their careers, but for getting to know themselves and also to get to know their creative process better. So I think it's a really cool concept where it's, as I said, like, it's collaborative when it's this number of people, and as I said, like, it's not like there's one main star. And yeah, so I mean, that's it. Like, you can definitely tell, like, there is, like, I'm curious how much of the actual story stuff that happens is real and how much is producer interference, just because each episode is intermixed with music videos of some of the songs that they've created being interspersed. So yeah. Yeah, I don't remember everyone's names, unfortunately. In case you haven't told, I don't really prepare that much for these. I just kind of go stream of consciousness and just go for it. But I do like a lot of the music they create, and I do like the fact that it's them creating the music, and it's not just someone writing a song and they're the ones that sing it. Like, because of all those different skill sets there were, I've always wished I could be a good singer, because not even for performing in front of it, like, I used to do chorus, and I basically wasn't allowed to do advanced chorus in middle school because I wasn't a good enough singer, even though I was one of the few people who actually wanted to do more chorus, because most of the kids were like, no, this is boring, I want out. But no, I've always wanted to be a good singer because just being able to basically put yourself totally in the moment, just go all in, and just yeah. I've always envied people who could do that, and so it's very cool, like watching these people being able to do that, and then it's with their own content. And part of the thing that's interesting is that as far as the writing process, like the person who's basically helped the music director, he's basically more so about the process than the results. So he doesn't care if they're trying to create hits or something. He wants them to basically be vulnerable and open themselves up and have it so it's what they're writing about is about real content. So he's not trying to make things be overly manufactured, trying to think about like pop appeal or anything. He's trying to get to soulful, true content, which I think is pretty cool, especially since there are two people who are cause drama in the group. I will say that the one that they make it seem like it's going to be the problematic person, I originally didn't have as much of a problem with, and the person he had a problem with, he's the one who ended up just being all flash. And he was the person who I just, from the get-go, I'm like, okay, you say how you want to make songs that are pop music, but your stuff is the stuff I at least connect with. Like, it just is nothing special to it. And I think he's just a little bit too more, I think, one, he's overly cocky, but I think it's just also he's trying to manufacture too much. Like, I think it's just too much from a music theory perspective rather than it being, there being any heart to it. And he was saying how he wanted to, yeah, I'm just gonna admit, like, spoilers, it's Austin ends up being a problem. He's the young guy in the group. He causes problems because in one of the episodes, like, they're supposed to go to an open mic night, and he brings, I think, 8 band members or something. So like he brings like a whole band with him to back him up. And it's like, that's not how open mics work. So I understand why the other guy's upset, but on the other hand, like, I know like some people were on Austin's side because it's like, well, we said perform your stuff, and that's like, it's like the fact that he had the confidence. But also there was an acting exercise where they were supposed to like ask someone for, like, confront someone and ask for forgiveness. And the thing is that he gives this, Austin, like, gets on his phone and is like being like, hey mom, I just really want you to, sorry, such. And it turns out, like, he tapped in all these emotions. It turned out he actually did call his mom, where it's like, okay, on one hand, yeah, that's really authentic, but it's kind of manipulative, because like the idea was it's supposed to be an acting exercise rather than like making everyone like witness this personal moment that you should have dealt with. Like, they shouldn't have been there. They shouldn't have witnessed your therapies. So I totally agree with the other guy, who I should have looked up his name but yeah. Anyways, Austin keeps on talking about how he's the best at writing songs, best at making. Now he wants to make. He was thinking he was gonna be. I think his envisioning of the whole thing was that they weren't going to be equals. He envisioned that he was going to help everyone write songs, and they were going to be doing his songs because he's the best songwriter, and that he's going to be the one making songs that people will be singing the hook on to afterwards. And like, his songs are the stuff that, you know, he's the one that is the flakiest, and actually he does pull out of the show later on because he can't hack it, as far as he keeps on being all this talk about like how he cares about people being honest, and he doesn't care what people say as long as it's honesty, but yet he can't take it. Like, he's just one of those people who's super fake and just all ego. And as I said, like, he wants songs that people are going to be quoting or singing the lyrics of afterwards, and like, his stuff doesn't have any content. Like, it's just, his stuff is just empty. Versus the guy he butts heads with, he's very soulful. Like, I remember one of his songs was, I'm a bad motherfucker and I'm tired of pretending I'm not. It's like, his was the one that had like the lyrics and like where it's like, he was, one, it was him very opening up, but also like, he was the one that had the hooks that actually stuck with you. And it's just like, I can understand why they butt heads, and I definitely was rooting for this other guy, and he's the one that actually makes it through the end. But yeah, there's some other great people. As I said, I don't remember everyone's names. I know there's Alexandra, who has a little bit more of a country twang, and she's young. She doesn't have as much life experience. And I imagine it's probably intimidating, but she did this kind of like leave home and actually learn about herself and not just be like the same old as everyone else back in her hometown area. Let's see, there's Taz, who's like been in a bunch of girl groups, and I really like her song. I like her vocal quality a lot. Her I'm a Better. I like Kaylee's personality. I don't get as much of a vibe for her music, although I do like the fact that she is willing to open up with her song Miss Sierra, and I wish they did do a music video for that, and I wish I had heard the full song because I feel like she got a little bit overshadowed as far as the musicality. Although I did like the video for her. I don't know the words. Let's see. Yeah, as I said, I really liked Taz's voice a lot. I can't remember the girl who was the child actress's name. She was very interesting. She brought a very interesting vocal component. Like, she was the person who had the most baggage in her life. And I do kind of agree with Sean, the producer, and like one of the other guys, how like they're not as sure if Austin's story is real or not, just because it's just so rehearsed. Leo was cool, though I feel like we didn't get to know his depth as much as some of the other people. Like, kind of like with Caitlyn, like I feel like we didn't get to know her depth as much, just maybe a little bit older, more experienced, but he also had a little bit of a boy band. So I feel like, yeah, he was great, and like a lot of times I think he was rock solid, and I think a lot of times the heart of the group, because he just was so reliable, and he didn't cause any drama or anything. And then there's the guy, I wish I didn't remember his name, because like his songs were really interesting. Like his was like very authentic, and like because we also see like he goes into AA during the course of the show, and like he breaks up with his fiance during the course of the show. So like he has like rough stuff and like that he's going through, and like it makes it that way he has great content. And I remember like one of the quotes from other people is like, what's bad for the heart is good for the art, and I do think for a guy like him, I think there is definitely truth to that. And then also Sean, the producer, like he's also one of the singers. Like I wish we'd gotten to know a little bit more about his story besides just knowing that his struggle about being both producer and performer in this, and dealing with the personalities and like the difficulties of dealing with Austin, and also like feeling a little bit of betrayal from his friend, who like they turn around, but also he gets married to his he and his husband get married during the course of this. And yeah, I like his vocal quality a lot, and like I said, like I wish I got to know like a little bit more what his depth was with his writing, like what his challenge was. But yeah, no, it was very interesting. It was very well produced, and it got very hooked on getting to know the different people. And it's just like I said, it's definitely good for if you like musicals and like those kind of like behind the scenes creative type of things where you see the build up to the performance, where it's just you don't want to see the final result. You want to see the creative process that leads up to it. And if you also want to get to know the people behind it. It was definitely very, very captivating for me, and also very, very unique. And I think I really like how there was the group chemistry. I like how there wasn't a lead to the group. Like I could picture like so easily like someone could have made Pia the lead, like the girl from American Idol, because like she does have such a powerful voice, and she is like famous people, and she's a presence. But like no, she was just. Everyone was incorporated, like everyone was equal, so everyone created content, like, and that was really amazing to me. That's one of the things I've always had problems with sometimes, like when I watch like girl bands or something, where it's like a lot of times there's the one lead and everyone else is the support, unless it's something like the Spice Girls, which I love the Spice Girls, so do not disparage them. But yeah, it's like I said, that's usually not the case. Like usually, it's kind of like. Destiny's Child, where there's the Beyonce and then Kelly and Michelle are the supports. Even though it's like they are skilled on their own, it's like they're inevitably just pushed into the background, and like one person is the lead. So yeah, that is one of my other more recent geeky vices. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully for people who like both reality shows that are somewhat staged, but also like musicals and all that, like hopefully you enjoy. All right, and continue enjoying your own geeky vices. Until next time, I'm J-Belle. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.